Hope everyone's having a good day today. Today we got the F100 in the shop. We're gonna crawl underneath here. We're trying to change out the governor. Trying to figure out how to make a high rev governor. And wide open throttle while the transmission's in drive. This thing shifts at like 4,500. The governor had a little check ball in it, and it was shifting at about 4,300. We're gonna get this thing jacked up, get under here, and show you what we're gonna do this time. Well, now I got it jacked up. We're sucking 3 to 4 quarts of transmission fluid out of it, so we can go ahead and pull the tail housing and get to this governor. On this governor, what we've tried to do is we're trying to get this thing to where while it's in drive, wide open throttle, we want to shift it like 52, 55, 100 RPMs. Well, we got the drive shaft out, cross member out of it. Getting the tail housing pulled off right now. The governor's right behind this tail housing. I'll get that thing off. We're going to show you, we're going to compare the one that we milled out and the one that's in here. Show you the differences, kind of compare them. And hopefully this does the trick. This thing shifts way before it's done making steam. And you know, a lot of guys, they're just putting the manual valve body in these things, but the way our shifter's set up and kind of a few other things, we really just want to be able to run it and drive all the time and just have it wrap out to, you know, at least 52. If we can get 52, we'll be happy. 55 would be great. This thing's still making quite a bit of steam, you know, at that RPM. And that right there's your governor. I'll get these bolts broke loose on this governor. Show you where this little governor valve is inside here.
Yeah, this governor, same exact one as the other one. Same exact part number and everything.
But the pictures that were on the part number you ordered were different. They were the ones for the small block C6 that were supposed to be drilled, but it's just typical Ford part number, change everything every month, bullcrap. Wasn't gonna spend time running around chasing the governor, so we said, screw it, we'll just make one. So we went ahead and took the governor out of the other one, and we went and just milled it. He's got that off. He can kind of show you where that governor's at in there. Just pull this little plate. There's a spring behind it. And the governor's inside there.
Yeah, you find a screwdriver though?
That's up on concrete.
Oh, now you still need a screwdriver.
This is what this governor looks like, which it does have a hole in it, so.
Might as well. Yep.
Well, we didn't think the governor we had a hole in it, because the governor we bought did not have a hole in it. So we're going to measure these holes and see if we're going to gain anything by even putting this other one in here. Well, we've been chasing our tails on this C6 governor deal. This governor here is a stock one in our transmission, our F100. We bought this one because the part numbers the guy had listed were for a small belt housing C6, and this was supposed to have a high rev governor. The reason we're wanting a high rev governor is because at wide open throttle and drive, we was shifting at 4,500. We wanted to shift like at 5,500. So we ordered this governor to get the high rev governor, and when we got it in the mail, It actually had a solid governor. It had an old POS governor. So what we did is we went ahead and just took it and drilled it. We drilled a used a quarter-inch mill, 400 thousandths deep, and drilled into this. And we was going to swap it out with the one in the truck. We pulled the one in the truck out, and it's actually already got the high rev governor. It's a 3/16 hole, 600 thousandths deep. It's actually 800 thousandths if you measure from the face of this. So with it having this high rev and us shifting at 4,500 still, we went back, chucked this thing back up in the lathe, and went ahead and went another 200 thousandths. This governor actually wound up weighing stock. It weighed 16.6 grams, and we took exactly 3 grams out. We're at 13.6 now. This high rev governor weighs 14.1 grams. So we actually gained 5 grams by cutting this out with a quarter-inch mill. We used a mill because the case of this governor is hardened, I suppose. We tried to drill it with drill bit, and the drill bit wouldn't do nothing to it. So we wound up using a carbide mill to drill this out with. But we're going to get this back together, and we're going to go for a rip and see if taking some weight out of this has actually made it to where we can at least turn, maybe 5,000 before it shifts. I don't know how much 5 grams is going to change it. And it seems to be that the spring that had came in this governor was actually, it seems to be a little less spring pressure than what the original one was. This one came out of a 71 Lincoln and should have had the old governor, so I guess somebody's had their fingers in this already. And when we rebuilt the transmission and was putting a shift kit in it, we noticed that the separator plate on the valve body had already been drilled out also. So somebody probably tried to do some performance mods back in the day. And why we didn't see that this governor was already the high rev governor, I don't know. We're just dummies. We was overlooking it. But we're going to get it back in there. We're going to go for a rip and see what we've gained anything or not. Like I say, we've been chasing our tails. I don't know if it's going to gain anything, but hopefully it does. Well, after all that, we still didn't get the RPM we were looking for. But we did get about 300 more RPM out of it. It's shifting about 48, 49-ish now. I don't know if it was worth it. We're probably going to throw a posi unit and some lower gears in it right now. I think the gear ratio in this rear end's like 270s. I don't know if that'll have anything to do with the shifts, but we're going to go to like some 325s or something like that. Something where we can still run on the highway with this 3-speed.